Okay, so hopefully you are hearing me, preferably above everything else. I'm trying a little bit of a new setup here, but yeah, we're just gonna roll with it anyway, because at this point, I'm a little too tired to chatter. Okay, so I'm also gonna be talking about the drawing, but I might as well talk about the setup and basically what's going on. First, I can definitely say that this is going to be my last long drawing on YouTube. I apologize for that. I know a lot of people do like my long drawings, so I do apologize for that. But that said, there's just a lot of work to edit. This one was 27 hours, and I think that makes it my longest drawing. I'm not sure. I definitely know my Eve drawing was pretty long, and my drawing with Kyla, the one I did a couple of weeks ago, was pretty long, but I think this one's longer than all of them, but I can't guarantee, and it is so much work to edit, I don't even like to think about it. So yeah, this is definitely going to be probably my last, but anyway, onto the drawing. The characters that I'm drawing here right now are actually my characters, well, I'm going to call them the Vivaldi sisters when I'm referring to all four. I designed them a long time ago, well, most of them a long time ago. I designed Inverno, Estate, and Primavera a long time ago, but I never got around to Autunno because I always thought her design was a little too complicated, and boy, was it too hard for me to draw back then. As you can see, or hopefully if this audio is matched up correctly, my computer's starting to hum, so my voice is probably getting harder to hear, so I'm going to try to talk louder. Anyway, if the audio is matched up correctly, you can see this old picture on the side of a girl with blue hair. That is Inverno's original design. Like I said, I designed them all the way back in 2016, and I've always wanted to redraw them. Well, actually, first I just wanted to finish the collection and draw Autunno. All their names are Italian, the Italian of the seasons, and hopefully I'm not butchering that. But anyway, so I apologize if I am. But anyway, I wanted to draw Autunno and just finish it, but like I said, I didn't think I was quite skilled enough, so I wanted to wait until I got a little bit more practice. But then there started to be a little bit of a difference between my skills. I would start using a tablet, and things started changing a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'll just redo them. But I never got around to it until now. Boy. But yeah, these are just 4 OCs that are based off of Vivaldi's 4 seasons. If you're thinking that they're based off of the 4 maidens from Ruby, they're not. I thought of these, well, I wanted to say before Ruby even came out with the idea of 4 maidens, but they're not. They were made in 2016. 4 maidens idea dropped in 2015. But I didn't know anything about Ruby, or I wasn't watching it. I didn't even know it existed. So yeah, this isn't based off of Ruby. This is my original idea. It's just based off of Vivaldi. In fact, it's actually inspired off of this leap pad. Does anyone know what those are? Probably not. I'm apparently getting old. But anyway, it was a leap pad, which is a book with a cartridge. But anyway, it was classical music being one, and that pretty much started my love for classical music. I loved that game, and it was so much fun, and it was the one that taught me about Vivaldi's 4 seasons, so I am very lucky to say that I learned about Vivaldi's 4 seasons at a very, very young age, and it gave me a great love for it, and my favorite is probably Winter. So she was the one who I came up with first in design, and then I just went on from there. Like I said, Autumn just never got around to it. But anyway, like I said, I'm also going to talk about the drawing, not the characters, but I might talk about them a little bit more because I do like them. But anyway, right now I'm drawing the snowflakes. Again, hopefully this audio is matched up correctly and you are seeing what I'm talking about. If not, I'm going to look like an idiot. Also, I imagine the computer is humming right now, and I apologize. My voice is probably getting really hard to hear. Trying to talk as loud and clearly as possible, but I'm also talking a little faster because this video is really long, and of course you probably saw that. But anyway, Inverno was really fun. I kind of wanted to make each of them slightly in a different coloring style, but at the same time, do it a little bit similar, so that way they would all look right. And yeah, right now I'm just using a simple. Well, I'm actually using it's called words. They're not coming to me. No, I'm using what I call my Neku pen. It is based off of a pen that Neku Rina uses. Amazing artist. Check her out. I've mentioned her probably. I've probably mentioned her a lot on this channel. So yeah. But anyway, like I said, right now I'm just doing the line art. And the number one thing that I wanted to do, these drawings were like made from the beginning of my artistic career, if you want to say that. So I really wanted to showcase the difference. So I really wanted to make these drawings as detailed as possible, which is also why the speed paint is ungodly long. Yeah, I just wanted to really show my abilities here. And I think they did good. I really do like, well, I like all of their designs. I would probably say the only one, I won't want to say unhappy with, but the one I like the least is Primavera's. Just because hers was, it was pretty simple, and there's really nothing to it. Whereas, I think all of the other ones, I was trying something, new, or something that I don't do quite as often. For Inverno, Winter, I made a whole bunch of snowflakes on her dress, and it's all fairly pretty detailed. I mean, sure, other people made lots more work. No, I'm not sure. I know a lot of people made other works that are way more detailed than what I'm doing right here. But for me, it was a time to showcase my true ability. That's not the word, but it was to be able to push myself and really try something different. Like, I gave her an ice crystal necklace before. She just had like a silk choker on her, and it was really simple and bleh. But this time I gave her like an ice crystal necklace, and I also gave her some holly berries in her hair. Well, frozen holly berries. We gave her a whole bunch of snowflakes, not just little chunks of ice, because snowflakes are prettier. Yeah, Winter is probably, I want to say Winter is probably my favorite design, just because I love the color blue, and I love Vivaldi's Winter. Like I said, it's probably my favorite. Anyway, the next one I did is Summer, and honestly, I don't know why I did her next, because the next season would have been Spring, and then it would have been Summer, and that's the order I did them, when I, first came up with the idea. But I really had an idea for Summer, or Estate. I know I'm not saying that name right. And I didn't want to lose it, so I just kind of went ahead and did it. Which is also kind of funny because they're not in the order. I said that these are like sisters, even though they don't look alike. They're probably adopted, I don't know. I haven't quite come up with the story yet, although I am working on it. But basically, they all look different, so they're probably adopted, but they all are sisters, and they all got like powers and stuff. But anyway, Autumn, I'm just going to call them by their English names. Autumn is the oldest, and then it's Winter, and then it's Summer, and then Spring. Yeah, so they're not in the order of the seasons either. I wanted to say that they're based off the Roman holiday, but Spring is always the first in the Roman calendar. I think it's a Roman holiday. Yeah, I meant Roman calendar. But anyway, right now I'm just, like I said, doing the line art of Estate and Summer. So I'm going to refer to them in their English names. I'm going to refer to them in their English names. You probably can't hear me, and if this narration just sounds too horrible, like worser than usual, I'm just going to cut it out and put music here. Sadly, not Vivaldi's tunes, because I couldn't find them. But anyway, moving on. I was trying to look for a version that was in public domain, and I couldn't find any. But anyway, for Summer, I replaced her pants with a skirt, because a skirt is just way more prettier. I love the idea of a long, flowy skirt. And I was actually going to make a laurel wreath on her, but that didn't work out. And I was actually thinking about changing her hair to something a little bit more tightly braided, but I was like, nah, I don't want to make it too different from the original so it loses the spirit. I mean, obviously I want to make more changes to the details, but I didn't want to totally change up her hairstyle, because I was even thinking about doing that with Winter. I was going to make her hair pulled back instead of giving her bangs, because I just got this manga version of Dracula, and I saw Lucy, the character, and her hair was pulled back and it was really pretty and stuff, and I wanted to try to do that with Winter, but then I was like, nope, I'm not going to lose the spirit of the... I'm going to try not to change too much so it's like totally different. So yeah, because of that I didn't give Summer, or Isaki, whatever you want to call her, I didn't give her the tightly braided hair, which I sort of do regret, because I think she would have looked pretty, but at the same time her hair does look really pretty in the end. I decorated her outfit with sunflowers, and oh, I forgot what that flower's name is. Hibiscus. So one tropically flower and one like summer field flower. Even though I do love Summer's design, I really do. Summer's not my favorite season. It's hot, it's sticky, and it's a mess, and I don't really think about it, and I wanted to keep everyone's design based on nature and such, so it was like really hard for me to come up with things for Summer. I thought of a few things like fireflies and stuff, but I didn't want to make living nature things here, like animals. So I only did fireflies at the end, and I didn't put any other bugs in it. Like, if I was going full hog on this drawing, like not recording it and not having a deadline, I would have probably put animals and stuff like that in it. But I did have a deadline. I wanted to get this over with. Well, I didn't want to rush it, but at the same time I didn't want to take too long with it. Because I knew I would record it and do a speed paint, and I don't like to lag on those. But yeah. What was I talking about? My mind just went blank. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to talk about Primavera now, since that's what I'm drawing. Again, hopefully if the audio is matched up correctly. I know my computer is humming loud, it thinks it's being overworked, it's not. But anyway, for Primavera, she was really fun. I got to draw like a whole bunch of flowers, and I think I've gotten a lot better at drawing flowers. I put poppies and morning glories and roses and lilies on there, which are probably they're probably the most easiest ones to draw. Out of all of them, lilies are probably the hardest. Also, I'm not sure if you'll be able to recognize it when this is done. Obviously, you can't recognize it right now because you haven't seen all of the signs. But all of them have a running theme. All of them have ribbons around their body. Winter has them wrapped around her leg. Summer has them wrapped around her waist. Spring has them wrapped around her arms, and Autumn, as you will see pretty soon, will have it wrapped around her neck. But anyway, like I said, I really did have fun drawing with her, but at the same time, like I said, it wasn't like nothing that it wasn't pushing my limits in the same way Spring and Summer were. I mean, I guess I have trouble drawing lilies, but rather than that, I did have experience drawing roses, and although I never drawn a poppy or a morning glory, I did have some reference from Clip Studio Paint. I looked at the stamper flowers that come with it, so I did have that help me, and it wasn't that hard actually at all. And for the Sakuras, I also put some like Sakura hair clips in her, and those were pretty easy too. So yeah, nothing in this was extremely that hard, so that's probably why I don't dislike it. I'm just like, it's the one that I'm least proud of. It's not like I was doing anything different or something that I wasn't quite used to. Okay, so like right now I'm still doing the line art, and I'm gonna try to talk a little bit more about the process. I'm going back and forth between the Neku pen and the Yana pen. The Yana pen is based off of a pen that Yananatsu uses. I just look at their speed paints and try to mimic the brushes that they're using. But at the same time, I know this is probably going to sound hypocritical with me just saying that I mimic the brushes, but at the same time, one thing I definitely do think is that brushes are good, especially if it does help when you have the right one, but at the same time, it's not going to, like, save you. Like, I've seen people who think, oh, if I just have this brush, it will, I will be able to draw so much better, and I thought like that. I thought, oh, if I just had the same tools as they did, I would be able to do just as much, but I've seen a lot of cheap art challenges and with, like, cheaper art materials, and you can make a lot more, you can make amazing art with just the materials you have. It takes talent, it doesn't take art tools to make good art, and it also takes hard work and practice. So you can make almost anything work. Obviously, it's going to come a little bit easier, like certain effects will obviously just come easier if you have Photoshop. Like, a good example would be sparkles. I can make sparkles in Painter's Eye, but it's just a lot easier to use Clip Studio Paint now since it has an automatic stamper tool that does that. And sometimes you might want to take a shortcut. But sometimes you also might want to do things yourself, and although it's a lot more easier in Clip, it's sometimes a lot more thrilling when you get it right. And when you're talking about pre-made assets especially, then that goes into a different field of territory, because it's like, are you just doing this to rush, or what? But, yeah. Okay, so the next one I'm drawing now, hopefully. Again, we decided it was matched up properly. I'm drawing Autunno, or Autumn. That's the only one I don't feel confident in saying. I think I'm messing it up. But anyway, her design I've never drawn before. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I didn't feel confident in drawing it when I was first coming out with these in 2016, and I had no idea what to do. And it was just like, okay, I'm gonna mess up, but I just knew I couldn't do it. So I never got around to it, and was like, okay, I'll come back when I'm a little bit more skilled. But then by the time I did come back, I don't want to say I was more skilled, because that sounds a little bit arrogant. There was a difference. There was a visible difference, I'll say that. There wasn't, like, I definitely learned things. And I think I was using a tablet by then, too. And I was like, okay, I don't know how to use the tablet enough to make this look good enough. So, yeah, I was just like, I can't pull it off, and yeah, I didn't even want to try. So here, now I am in 2020, and I'm gonna try. Also, with her hood, I need to look up some reference. I think I looked up a picture of Ruby from being in a cartoon TV show, CGI, I don't know what you call it, Ruby. But anyway, I looked up some reference to that, just to see how it works, because I'm not used to drawing hoods over the head that much. I probably should practice more. But anyway, for Autumn I had kind of a basic idea. Well, actually I pictured Autumn originally like, this one video game or anime, I'm not sure what it actually is. I think it's called Toshu Project. I probably butchered that, but it is the whatever it is that goes with Bad Apple, that song that Christina V sings. So yeah, it's that song. I pictured her like her, sort of, more in a Japanese kind of look, and then her dress would just be made out of leaves. But obviously I wanted to go for a little bit more of a Western look for this, because I wanted to keep them kind of all in like neutral stage. But I did keep the idea of a dress of leaves, and I knew that was really the hardest thing to pull off, was the dress of leaves. Also, I gave her a veil of, like, wheat. That was a nightmare to draw, too. But the leaves were definitely hard, and that's what I knew I wanted back in 2016, and I knew I couldn't do it. So I was like, nope. not gonna try. I didn't even try. I also, once I kind of got the idea of a dress of leaves and then the bale of leaves. Well, I had this idea of like her holding a bale of leaves and her twirling her skirt around, and I thought that would look really pretty, and it actually did. I also gave her like a gem on top of her head because I mainly wanted her outfit to have a little bit of blue. I gave all of their outfits a little bit of blue, and Winter's is all blue. That's because blue is my favorite color. But anyway, I gave her a moonstone on her head, and then her earrings would be full harvest moons. So yeah. Anyway, after this I had to basically make the leaves. I got some images of leaves here. Again, hopefully the audio is matched up. If it is not, then basically I used some pictures of leaves to help me. Probably should have used real photo leaves, but I just found these like stock image leaves that I used. And after I made like about 9 different kinds of leaves, I just copied and pasted them onto the dress. And if I was ever going to have someone draw her as a commission, well, first of all, I wouldn't do that because that seems a little cruel to me. But if I was ever going to, I would just say, just copy and paste these leaves all along her skirt. That's all you gotta do. It doesn't gotta be perfect. Because, oh boy. But that said, I was really happy with her line art, and her line art is probably what I'm most proud of because, like I said, with all the drawings I was, besides spring, I was pushing some kind of limits. I was doing something a little bit out of the ordinary for me. For autumn, I made, well, a skirt made up of leaves. I've never done that before. With winter, I was just like making details on her chest area. That was the hardest part with winter, and I don't usually do that because I know it's really hard. And yeah, it is really hard for me to do that. But yeah, I managed to pull them off. I would say the only thing I didn't like about this drawing in the end is I did get a little tired once the backgrounds happened. I think that's also why for my last drawing of my OC Kyla, I drew and colored the background. Well, I didn't draw, but I colored the background before I colored Kyla because I knew what to do for Kyla. I've colored people a lot. I don't color backgrounds as much. And I knew by the time I was done with the drawing, I would get tired because that's usually how it always works. I always get gung-ho, and then by the time I'm done, I just want to upload the drawing and be done with it. So I get a little tired by the end, so I get a little lazy and, well, I don't want to say this, but for lack of better words, half-ass it. I usually really mess up at the end. So that time I wanted to try to do the background first. This time I didn't know what I was going to do for the background, so I had no choice but to do the girls first. But had I known what I was going to do, I probably would have done the background first, but I don't know. For winter, okay, in the original drawing, I think I'm calling winter now, her outfit was, her skin was totally solid white. It was like marble almost. And the idea of that was that she was frozen, I guess. But I don't know why I did that because usually your skin goes kind of a grayish bluish color. So yeah, that was a little bit weird. But anyway, that's what I wanted to do. Be quiet, Winter. Sorry, I had to shut up my dog. But anyway, that is what I wanted to do. I want to do more of a flesh tone for Winter. Be quiet. Sorry. Apologize for that. I'm probably gonna cut that out. But anyway, I wanted to. Okay, let's reword this. I wanted to do a flesh color. That's what I was trying to say. I wanted to do a flesh color instead of total white because I wanted them to all look sort of human. Yes. But yeah, I was really happy with how Winter's coloring turned out. her coloring is probably what I feel the most happy with, but I think that's also just because I like blue so much. So yeah, I made her skin more of like actual human color. I mostly stuck to using the Neku pen. Winter, be quiet! Shut up! I mostly stuck to using the Neku pen and the Hyun pen, but I also use the normal standardized pencil and the brush, and of course I use the airbrush. I almost always use the airbrush when I'm trying to just get like a smooth gradient or such. Apologize for that. I went dark for a moment. I was trying to calm my dog down. He sees a squirrel outside. Anyway. Never had that happen before. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, for the coloring, I mostly kept it simple. Well, simple, but at the same time, okay, I limited myself in the coloring more. But that said, I did once in a while pick up a few tools that I don't normally do, like the crayon tool. I think I picked up a few times for the skin, just to give it like a little bit of texture to it. And yeah, but for the most part, I just limit myself to about two tools. And just did that. Stuck to mostly those, only changing once in a while. I also limited my color palette. I came up with my color palettes in advance for making each one. So that way it would stay consistent in that, and I would only adjust them when I was doing like later modes like multiply or luminosity. But I'm actually glad I said I was kind of deciding to pull back her hair or make it go forward, but I'm actually kind of glad I gave her the bangs, because in the end it did really look nice. The only thing I wasn't sure about was the smile. I made her smile, but it was more of like a generalized picture. I was going to say promotion picture, but it's not promoting anything. So, yeah, just a generalized picture. So, in the end, I did give her a smile, but the way I picture her character, she's, well, stereotypical Winter. She's exactly what you'd think. She doesn't smile that much. She's more cold, kind of gloomy, and quiet. She doesn't, like, have a tragic backstory or anything, but she's kind of like, similar to one of those emo girls. But she doesn't like have a tragic backstory or anything like that, or a reason. She's just quieter. She also is a little bit more elegant, a little bit more mature. In the case of Autumn, she's very more motherly. She's the one who keeps things together. She's the one who looks out for her siblings. Summer's the fun and energetic one, but she's also the one to get more angry, a little bit more emotional, but she's also very hyper. She's very fun. She's like the fun big sister. I wouldn't know about that. But anyway, she's like the one who is getting into trouble, but at the same time she's the first one to jump in to save someone. Whereas Winter, she's a little bit more hesitant, and Autumn, she just uses a brain. She uses wisdom. The other two don't really use that as much, but at the same time, that also makes them a little bit more interesting. And then spring, she's the baby sister. So she's more immature, she's more childish in certain aspects, and she's less knowledgeable. She looks up to her sister. She wants to copy her sister. She wants their advice on things. So yeah, that's basically what I went for. Like I said, I'm really happy with how Winter's design turned out. I think the only thing I'm probably not quite as happy is more of the bottom half of her. The skirt and the bottom part of the dress could have looked a little bit better to me personally, but it's not bad. I really do like the top half of her though. The holly branch, the chest of her outfit, the necklace, the ice crystals. I really also like the high colored the snowflakes and all the little ice on her. I think that's half the reason why I just like drawing winter characters, because I just love the color scheme that I always have to work with. It's whites and pale blues and royal blues and aquas and pale purple and a little bit of pale pink and maybe some green here and there. It's just really, really fun. I also looked up some drawings on the side. Like I said, I usually do that. I look up drawings of other people or other professional artists and just look at them. Helps me draw. I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional, and nor do I claim to be. I still need to look at references. I still need to look at other people's art. I don't trace other people's art, but I do look at it to help me get inspiration. But yeah. Trying to think of what else to say, because it's kind of, you know, going on winter for a while. I also gave her like some earrings and some ice on her cheek. I thought that would look really pretty, and it did. The earrings are supposed to look like water droplets hanging off like a willow. If you've ever seen the movie Frozen, then you know what I'm talking about. It's that one scene when they go into that like frozen forest and Anna's like looking at a willow tree and it's got like drops on it. I always thought that was pretty, so that's what I did with her earrings, whereas her necklace is more of just like basic ice chunks. And then all around her snowflakes. I think if I remember correctly, I based her design off of Rio Kamishiro, Elsa, and this one illustration of the Snow Queen, which I had. There was also like I think there was also like the Aurora Borealis, and that's why her hair also has a little bit more color in it besides just blue and white. It has a little bit of pink and green in it, because in the original illustration the Northern Lights were behind her, but I have since learned that the Northern Lights show up more than just up north. Duh. They also appear in other places, in some places that are not even cold, so it's not just limited to the cold. So yeah, I took away the Northern Lights. Anyway, now I'm coloring estate, or summer. This is so weird. I actually am, well, my mom's part Italian. I'm Italian by heritage. We have very strong Italian in our family, but yet I can't say Italian seasons. But anyway, for summer, like I said, I wanted to give her a skirt because I just enjoy drawing skirts more than pants. I love wearing skirts on average. I want to say more than pants, but now there's sometimes I just want to relax and have pants. But I really do love skirts. I think skirts look nicer, and they really are pretty, and they're easier for me to draw. So, yeah, it was a win-win all the way around. But one thing you might notice if you are seeing the old one, which is the one on the side, that looks really, really bad. I made her skin was already dark, but I made it darker. I think what inspired me was this one drawing by an artist named Wamba. They drew this wonderful picture of this dark-skinned anime girl, African American, and she was really pretty. So I made my skin more darker like that, because it was just like, okay, I want to try this. I don't think I've drawn a character with this dark of skin before. I've definitely drawn dark skin before. I have quite a couple of characters with dark skin. but I don't think I did quite this dark. So I looked up images of models. I also looked at Lanban's drawing that they did, and that really did help. It's always, I do have experience in drawing dark skin, but it is a little bit harder since I'm not quite as used to it with paler skin. I'm more drawing that on average because of the fan art that I have, or two of my characters, Azura and Kyla, are both more paler skin, and I draw them pretty much all the time, so yeah, I do have a little bit more expertise in it, but that said, it was really fun doing this. And I think it makes me want to draw Summer more. I was going to change her hair to look, be dark too, in addition to it being tightly braided, but like I said, I didn't want to change things up that much outside of the outfit and the general appearance. I didn't want to change things up. Like, her skin is darker, but it's still dark. It's just a little bit darker. Her eyes, I still wanted them green, and I wanted her hair to be blonde because I thought it looked really pretty with the combination of dark and light, and it turned out really, really nice, I think. And just the idea of Summer with golden hair just seems to be fitting to me. Okay, you're actually gonna see a little bit of a change. I colored her hair, but I didn't like how I colored it. It doesn't look bad, but it looks a little flat, so in a moment you'll see the hair looking slightly different. That's because I redid it and went over it, but I did not show that on camera. I forgot to record it. So I do apologize for that. But, yeah. I think it changes after I'm done doing a little bit of the skirt. I really do like the colors of green I picked, and I'm, on average, not a green girl. I like green. It's not my least favorite color, but it is, it's not a color that I like to pick on average. But, I really did like the shades that I went with here. Yeah, it's right about here. I already changed the hair. I fixed it. The coloring seemed a little bit more flat to me, so I just went back and changed it. I also gave it a green tint at the bottom. That was in the original. Also, her hair looks a little bit more blonde instead of just flat out yellow. The only thing I didn't like about Summer's design is I love it, but the only thing I wish I would have did is put a little bit more detail on it. Like with Winter, I've got like the snowflakes on her chest. Autumn, I've got the leaves on her skirt. Whereas Summer, she just mostly has a skirt with two sunflowers and hibiscus in her hair. I also gave her bracelets, and yeah, bracelets aren't a part of nature per se, but gems are found in nature, so she just kind of adapted a little bit. Yeah. But, rather than that, I wanted to keep everything a little bit more nature-y themed, because all the things that I was coming up with when I looked up ideas for summer inspiration, well, actually, the first thing I said, things that are summery, and the first thing that came up to was an air conditioner. And I'm like, I can't draw this character with an air conditioner, that would look ugly. So that didn't work out. A lot of other things that were coming to my mind were summery, beachy things. Not beach summery things, obviously I was looking up with summery, but beach themes. And even when I asked my mom, I asked her, oh, what are ideas for summer? And she said, what do you think of when you think of summer? And she thought hot, sticky, and beach, and swimming. And I'm like, okay, I can't really do the ocean themed because I already got a blue color scheme with Winter, and I already knew her color scheme would be green, and I didn't want to make a green ocean because that would look a little polluted. Though I do think there's some waters that are kind of a bluish green. They look very pretty. But on average, that wouldn't quite go with my yellow green that I had going here. So I was like, well, that ain't gonna work. So I just stick to sunflowers and hibiscus. But I kind of like it because it's kind of like a plain, grassy meadow and stuff. And it really does give the illusion to a nice, it really does show summer in its simplistic mode. And I like that. The simplicity of summer. And sometimes simpler is more beautiful. That's what I think. Not all the time. Sometimes I love elegance and beauty and all the details and stuff, obviously. I love drawing Victorian dresses. But, that said, I really do sometimes see the beauty in just the simple things. And that's what I wanted to display with this character. So I mostly made her, besides the flowers, which in my story, she probably got those from Primavera. Everything she wears is more earth themed. She's just nice and simple. Once again, I pretty much stick to the same tools for the coloring, just the pencil, the hand tool, and the Nectarina tool. I also did not do any switching until the backgrounds. I wanted to keep this drawing all sides so that way I could really show my improvements. So I didn't open up Clip Studio Paint at all until the backgrounds. And I did do like a few glitter effects towards the end that would be in Clip Studio Paint. But rather than that, I mostly stuck primarily to using ooh, excuse me, Paint Tool Side. I mean, it didn't primarily, I used Paint Tool Side pretty much for the entire thing. For the part of blue that was in summer, I gave her blue gems on her waist. I actually was going to make those sunflower seeds, but I was like, nah, I already got some gems on her and stuff, so I just made those blue. And, yeah, for the, I don't know what she's holding behind her. I just came up with this pose with someone holding a veil behind them. Well, not like a veil, but like a, yeah, I guess a veil would be the word. It's just not attached to anything. And I got this picture from, well, not the picture, but I got the idea from this one picture of Sayaka from Madoka Magica, and she was with all the other girls. But anyway, Sayaka was holding her cape, which was attached to her outfit. And I was like, oh, that would be pretty, just replace it as a veil and stuff. So yeah, I kind of just came up with something similar to that. I kind of made the veil a little bit transparent too, to kind of give it like this, I don't know, girl look. For spring, I was just going to do hair loops and buns to replace the hair pigtails, but I was like, I missed the pigtails, so I went back and drew those. Yep. They were really, really fun to do. Like, I loved drawing that kind of stuff. Like, well, when I was doing the line art tool by using the line art tool to do my line art and not a tablet, and I was just using the mouse, I hated it because it was a lot of work to do. And I still wasn't quite good with it. So after I made them once in the line art tool, I always used them over and over again for a lot of my drawings, even for ponytails and pigtails sometimes. Just reusing the same pigtails. But this time I did them all by myself, and they were really, really fun. For Primavera, I also gave her a little bit more of a pink tint to her skin, whereas Winter has more of a bluish, kind of grayish, white tint to her skin. Primavera would have like a pinky tint. Kind of, you know, like a newborn animal. I wasn't sure if to make her hair red or pink. Well, all of her hair color would fade into another color. Like, in the case of Winter, her hair is white, but it fades down to blue. Summer's is blonde, and it fades down to green. On Autumn's is black, and it fades down to gold. I wasn't sure if to do red fading into pink or pink fading into red for Primavera. But in the end, I went for red because that's what I was mostly seeing on the drawing, on the original drawing. Her buns were so fun to color. Like I said, spring was the one that came the easiest to me, and that's also kind of why she's my least favorite, just because it was more easier. Like, it wasn't easy. It still took time, but it was nothing new to me. I was like, okay, I can do this. It's gonna take work, but it's nothing that I can't do before. It's like having a job that takes a lot of work, but at the same time, it feels really comfortable and it's really easy. Speaking of jobs, because of this current situation, I've lost mine, so I'm pretty much unemployed, but that said, I'm gonna, you know, go back to like job hunting stuff, and well, I don't want to be unemployed, so that's not fun. So I'm just gonna focus a little bit more on life stuff and oh, the world's gonna blow up, also reading and studying and stuff. So yeah, this is probably gonna be my last biggest speed paints. I'm still gonna do speed paints once in a while. I'm probably gonna do these speed paints as long as I possibly can until my computer just gets ripped away from me or I die or something like that. I'm gonna do this as long as I possibly can. Or YouTube decides to terminate my channel for no reason. It's very possible. But I'm going to be doing digital drawing and all this as long as possible. And I'm still going to make big drawings. I'm just not going to record them in speed paints because it is so much work. And, yeah. Man, I really hope you can hear my voice. My computer's humming so loud. Once again, for Primavera's eyes, I wasn't sure if to do it pink or red, but I just went kind of for a medium pinky red. And, yeah. I think I did really good on them. Actually, I don't even mind them on the old drawing. It was made with a mouse. In fact, all of the drawings were made with a mouse. Like I said, that's half the reason why I couldn't draw Autumn is because I switched to a tablet by then. By the time I felt like I was good enough, and all of them are not bad with the mouse. Well, Primavera looks pretty bad in some parts. Same thing with summer and winter. All of them look pretty bad in one part, but there's always one part that doesn't look as bad. Like for summer, I didn't mind the shading and the skin. I didn't think it was bad, especially for thinking my first dark skin character. Whereas winter, I think I liked the northern light effect that I did in the backgrounds, and for Primavera, I liked how I colored her eyes. I think it's really good for her mouse. If you notice, I made a mistake on her skirt. Her underskirt is in front of her leg at one part, even though it should be, I mean, it's in the back of her leg, even though it should be in the front. So, yeah, I fixed that later on, though. I also changed the white color to more of a pinky color because, like, I think I said, I'm starting to forget what I said and what I didn't say, but, each one of them are color themed. Winter's blue, summer's green, spring is pink, and, autumn is gold. I wasn't sure if to do it that way because I was like, I know autumn is gonna have a lot of red in it, so I wasn't sure, but I was like, oh, if autumn's red, then spring has to be green, and summer has to be yellow, but I've always pictured spring pink, and I've always pictured summer wearing green. So I was like, nope, I'm not changing that. I was really happy with how I colored the lily. Lilies are always the hardest flower for me to draw. I don't know why, but this time they turned out really nicely, and I really do like how I colored them. Roses have gotten a lot easier. Like, they look hard, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. The morning glories and the poppies, well, actually I made a mistake on this drawing. I forgot which one was the morning glory and which one was the poppy, so I colored the morning glories red and the poppies blue. I think they come in every colors too, but primarily I see morning glories blue and poppies red. At least I think I do, if morning glories are the flowers that I think they are. I'm a flower expert, not a flower. I'm a flower lover, not a flower expert. So yeah, but anyway, I just switched the colors anyway. I was very proud of how the sakura petals turned out on her hair. I don't know what's supposed to be on her bun and why it's not shown on the other one. I'm guessing it's just because her hair's turned around, but by that logic you would see a little bit still. I also gave her twigs in her hair. I was going to make like some flowers growing out, like even some sakuras, but I don't really know how to make that work, so I just made plain twigs in her hair. And yeah. And then finally the last was autumn. Once I got the basic idea for autumn, I knew exactly what to do. The only things I wasn't sure about, like I wasn't sure if to give her light skin or medium skin. In the end I went for medium skin because I thought it would be more of a funner contrast. And I'm born in autumn, and I have medium colored skin, so I decided, why not? I'm not quite as proud as I am with the coloring as I am the line art. I really do love the line art for autumn, but the coloring could have gone a little bit better. I think it was just because I was getting a little tired by the end of it and my brain was going on empty. But at the same time, it did turn out good in the end. I also wasn't sure if to give her hair reddish brownish hair or black, but in the end I went for black because I thought it would look better with the darker skin. And I'm really glad I picked that because it also looks good with the gold eyes too. If I would have given her paler skin, I probably would have did the reddish brown. But also her hair is, her color is gold, it's not red, so that's another reason why I didn't want to do the brownish red. I didn't want to give any indication that her color was red. Of course, all of them have a little bit of other colors in them. Spring's got a little bit of green and blue in her, primarily green. You can see a lot. Well, she does have a lot of blue in her too. Morning glories, and the stones on her outfit, little gemstones. Winter's got some pink in her hair, and like the snowflakes reflecting. Summer's got some little bit of blue and red in her. Hi. Summer's got, I think I said summer. Autumn's got red and blue in her, and summer's got green and yellow. So yeah. I don't know, my brain's just starting to go away. I'm starting to lose all comprehension. I'm not used to talking this long. I think I've got 10 more minutes left on the video. Oh boy, this video is going to be a pain to edit once I'm done. I really did like how the moon earrings turned out. I thought that was a really good idea. Now I'm thinking of it, maybe I should have done like maybe a half moon or a quarter moon, but I like the full moons. I love a full golden moon. It looks so pretty. Well, I like a full silver moon too, but a full gold moon, it looks bigger and it looks prettier. I got the idea for a moonstone on her head from the Tinkerbell movie, The Hidden Treasure. I watched that movie once, and Tinkerbell movies are kind of like a guilty pleasure of mine. I don't think they're like bad, but I don't think they're like that good. I don't think they're bad because I know they're for children, but they're not the best even compared to children's movies in my opinion, but I do enjoy watching them once in a while for a guilty pleasure. And like, I think sometimes Barbie movies are better. That's probably just my opinion. I really wasn't sure what to do with the cape. I was going to make her have like a cape that started out in red and then faded down to gold, but it wasn't just working out, so I just gave her a brown cape. A lot more simple in its nature, so that way it wouldn't distract from her leaf dress. The dress that she's also wearing is black, and now that I'm thinking about it, a black and brown, a black dress with a brown cloak is a little weird, but I don't know. I like it in the end. Like I said, I'm not quite as happy with the coloring as I am with summer and winter. I think that's just because I didn't really have, in addition to my mind just going on empty, I didn't have any reference, I didn't have any game plan for her, so I was just pretty much doing whatever I thought would be good at the time. So because I didn't have as much pre-planning with her, I didn't get to do it quite as nicely. But at the same time, considering that, I think it's turned out really well, and I really, really loved how I colored that moonstone on top of her head. That's really pretty. The dress, I think, could have been colored a little bit nicer. That's probably what I'm most disappointed on, because the dress looks so pretty, and it really is something that I'm quite proud of. So I wish I would have colored it a little bit nicer. I mean, it's not bad, but it could have been way nicer, and I know the only reason why I didn't was because I'm just starting to get lazy. Working was all those, I first just colored the leaves in general, and then I just erased the gaps, and that was so much work. It was unbelievable how much work it was. Yeah, I got this entire video speed sped up to about 26 to 32 times. The video's like, I don't know. I'll explain my video editing process in the summer video, but basically it's sped up pretty fast, but it took a long time. I also really do like how I did the wheat veil. It doesn't look bad. I like the idea of her holding like a harvest wheat veil. I think it looks pretty. Also, you're seeing my tab bar for this. I forgot to hide that. Usually I hide that kind of stuff, but at the same time, I guess it's not bad. I was gonna make her like a gold decal on the skirt, but it didn't turn out right. So sadly, it's just a plain brown cloak. In some ways, the gold harvest in her hands kind of looks like noodles. I think that's why I like it. I love looking at noodles. I actually forgot to color her eye. Well, I didn't forget. I knew I wasn't coloring them, but I wanted to do, since I knew I was getting lazy, it was in the same principle as my Kyla drawing. I drew what I was good at. First, and saved for what. Strike that, reverse. I drew what was going to be more of a problem and what I knew I would have spoofed on if I didn't any longer. I saved that last. Okay, that made no sense. Okay, basically what I'm saying is what was harder I did first, and what I knew was going to be easier I did second. At last. Because what was easier, I knew it. I saved for last. Why was it so hard for me to save? I don't know. Anyway, now I'm just drawing the background. I knew exactly what I was going to do for winter because I drew her in a sitting pose, and obviously to be in a sitting pose, you need to be sitting on something. So I made it a tree branch. I don't know how spring is up in the air. I guess she's just springing up. But all of them are just in walking poses rather than that. But winter is sitting down, and I really did like it. In fact, actually, now that I think of it, I like the contrast, since winter is sitting down and spring, which is like the complete opposite of winter, is up in the air. I think that's really nice. well, I know I'm thinking of it, autumn's more of the opposite of spring, and summer's the opposite of winter. But anyways, I still like it. I really did like how the icicles turned out. I was really, really proud with those. I wasn't quite sure what to do with the background. I knew I would switch to clip pretty soon to finish up like some final details, but rather than that, I was just kind of messing around with the idea and stuff. So mostly I just did like a little bit of trees and forest for each one of them. For winter, I did like a wintry forest. For spring, I did like a forest of sakura or plum trees. I'm not sure which one I did. And then for summer, I did like an open field, because that's kind of what I think about for summer, and lightning bugs. And then for autumn, I did like an autumny forest and stuff. And yeah, in the end, I was really, really happy with how it turned out. And I'm pretty much done talking now. So yeah, the rest of the video will just be in silence. I'm probably gonna add a little bit of Mac music to this or something, I don't know. But yeah, I really do hope you enjoy this drawing, and if you watch the entire thing, I thank you so much. I know my speed paints are really long, but hopefully they won't be as long anymore. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and bye!